Welcome learners and math lovers in the series of videos on topology. Now in the previous video we have proved the theorem which deals with the equivalent statements for continuity of a function. Now let us recall this f is a continuous function and f of closure of A is contained inside closure of f at A. Inverse image of a closed set is closed set, and for every x in X and every neighborhood of the image of X, that is fx, in your codomain, there exists a neighborhood of X in your domain which is contained inside the inverse image of this open set. Now let us use this fourth equivalent statement and show that addition is a continuous function. Okay, and then to show that multiplication is a continuous function, I will leave that as an exercise. So let's see, let's show that addition is continuous function. Okay, so before that we should know what is addition. Now when we say addition of two real numbers, let's deal with addition in usual topology, R with usual topology. So when you say addition of real numbers, what are the things we need? So remember, addition is a function. So as I said, to add, what you need? You need two real numbers. Okay, so addition is a function from Ru cross Ru, and when you add two real numbers, what is the outcome? The outcome is again a real number. So addition is a function from Ru cross Ru to Ru. Okay, and how we define this addition function? It is defined to be addition of A comma B. Now here your domain is tuple, right? R2. So addition of A comma B is defined to be A plus B. This is how we define. Now we have to show that this addition is a continuous function. So there are four equivalent definitions we have seen. And for this case we will use our fourth equivalent definition for a continuity of a function. Now what you have to do is, one way you take an open set here and show that the inverse image of that open set is again an open set in your domain. Okay, now let's see how the diagram will be. The domain is R2, so let us take R2. This is our R2, and the codomain is R, so let us take this as R. Okay, so this is our R with usual topology. This is our R2, so R2 is nothing but R cross R, so Cartesian product, you can see. Now you have to take we will use the fourth equivalent statement. That means you have to take a point over here. Sorry, you take a point over here, take the neighborhood of the image of that. The inverse image of that neighborhood should contain the neighborhood of our point. So for simplicity, let us take a point, say A comma B over here. It's a cross product. So let us take A comma B here. So A comma B, when we have its image over here, will be A plus B. So when you take this, this will become here, and this set will have a point over here which contains A plus B. Okay, so we have taken a point in our domain. We have taken the image of that point. Let us consider to be this, and now we have to take some arbitrary open set or neighborhood of this A plus B. And we know that the neighborhoods in Ru are nothing but the open intervals. That means there exists some R. If you take a open neighborhood of this, and if we go for the basic neighborhood, there exists some open set. There exists some R greater than 0, such that A plus B minus R. Let us take like this, and here. So A plus B minus R and A plus B plus R. So this is the neighborhood of A plus B. when you take the inverse image of that neighborhood, that should contain the neighborhood of this. Okay, so when you take the inverse image, let us take this way. So it will be like here we have A, here we have A, here we have B. Okay, so when you have the inverse image, it will be like you will have okay, let us go first writing and then we will come back to here. That will be easier part. Okay, so let us take a point, let A comma B belonging to RU cross with RU, and let us take and U be neighborhood of A plus B, that's the image A plus B in the codomain RU. Okay, so as we have taken here, it's an image, and since this is the neighborhood, there exists some R greater than 0. So this implies there exists some R greater than 0 such that the open wall around A plus B, this is our point, minus R plus A plus B, sorry, comma A plus B plus R is contains at U. So we have some open set, some neighborhood of A plus B, like anything maybe like this, or maybe union of 2's, no problem. What we said is, since it's a neighborhood and A plus B belongs to that neighborhood, by the definition of open set, there is some R greater than 0 such that this is contained inside U. This is contained inside U. Okay, now let us take V, let us take V to be a set over here. Okay, so let us take V to be open interval A minus R by 2 comma A plus R by 2 cross with B minus R by 2 comma B plus R by 2. Let us take V to be this. So when you go for the diagram, our V will be, if R is there, you take a half of it and then we take a neighborhood. So A, so this here somewhere will be this. Okay, let us take this. So this will be A minus R by 2. Here it will be A plus R by 2. This is B minus R by 2, and this is B plus R by 2. And we have taken the open interval, right? So this line, the box kind of thing, this line, and this line. And again, remember, we have taken the open interval. That means these lines, the end points of these lines, or the boundary of this square or rectangle will not be included. So let's continue. So as I said, these boundaries of these rectangles are not included. Okay, in fact, square is not included. And as we have seen, this is open interval, then this is open interval. So this is open set in the domain, that is R cross R. Okay, so this implies V is neighborhood of A comma B in RU cross RU, because this contains A, this contains B, so this V contains A comma B, and this is open, so cross product will be open, and this is a neighborhood of A comma B in RU. Okay, so this is our neighborhood. This is the neighborhood of A comma B in RU. Okay, we will show that when you take the inverse image of the U over here, that will contain this. Okay, so we have U here. Let us take let us take that u inverse image of u, something like this. It may be anything, it may be a square kind of things. Okay, we have just drawn for our understanding. So this is addition inverse of u. Now what we will show, or what we have started with, we have started a point in the domain. We have taken the image of that point, it is a plus b. We have taken an open set or neighborhood of u, and we will take the inverse image of u. We have to show that this point contains a neighborhood which is contained inside f inverse of u, and in our case we will show that that neighborhood is nothing but v. So claim v, which is the neighborhood of a comma b, is contained inside the addition inverse image of u. U is the neighborhood of your point in the codomain, image in the codomain. Okay, so let us take a point in v. So let x comma y be a point in v. This implies what? This x belongs to the open interval a minus r by 2 comma a plus r by 2, and this y belongs to open interval b minus r by 2 to b plus r by 2. Okay, this implies our x lies between a minus r by 2. Of course this is open interval, so it's less than, strictly less than, and then a plus r by 2. And here it implies b minus r by 2 is less than, strictly less than y, it is strictly less than b plus r by 2. Sorry, not whole, b plus r by 2. Okay, so when you add this, this implies, you add this becomes a plus b minus r by 2 minus r by 2 becomes minus r is less than x plus y is less than a plus b, and r by 2 plus r by 2 becomes r plus r. So let us put brackets here. What does this mean? This implies when you have a function addition of this point x comma y, it belongs to u. It belongs to u. Why? It belongs to u because that x comma y belongs to this open interval, and this open interval is contained inside u. This implies x comma y belongs to u. And if addition of x plus y, x and y belongs to u, this implies this x comma y will be the point. This implies this x comma y will be the point in the addition inverse image of u. Because addition of this x plus y, x and y belongs to this, that implies this point will be in the inverse image of u. And this implies our v is contained inside addition inverse image of u. So let us wind up what we have done for this. We have shown that this addition is a continuous function, and for that we have used the fourth equivalent statement for continuity of a function. And for that we have taken a point here. We have taken the image of that point here, that is a plus b, and for this we have taken an open set u. Since u is a neighborhood, we have got this basic neighborhood. Okay, and then we have defined a v, which is by the definition what we have already written, and we have proved that this v is a neighborhood of a comma b, which is contained inside the inverse image of u, and hence f, this our addition function, is continuous, and hence addition is continuous. Okay, exercise, show that multiplication, right? Multiplication is continuous function. Also you can check for division and you can check for subtraction of two functions. Okay, that is the exercise that we can verify. Now we have proved that if f is a continuous function, then say from two topological spaces, say x and y, f is a function from x to y, then if you restrict that f to any subset of x, then the restriction is a continuous function. That we already proved. Now let us prove a slight variation of that. Let us take a proposition. So in this case, let us take x to be the union of the open sets. Say alpha belongs to I is the indexing set U alpha, where each U alpha are open in X for all alpha belonging to I. That means alphas, U alphas are the open sets, and you are taking or you are writing that X is a union of open sets, I is the indexing set. And let us take a function and let f is a function from x to y. If you have f restricted to u alpha, of course this is a function from u alpha to y, is continuous for all alpha belonging to I. What it means, if you restrict your function to u alpha, and where u alpha is open, this is a continuous function, then we need to show that f is continuous. But understand first thing, what are your hypotheses? Your hypothesis is, first, all u alphas are open. You are writing X as a union of open sets over here. If f restricted to that all the open sets is continuous, then f is continuous. Okay, you cannot neglect any of the hypotheses. If you neglect any of the hypotheses, then the result may not hold. Okay, so let us prove this. And to prove this, let us use the first definition, the definition what we have used for defining a continuity of a function. So proof. So for that, let us take an open set in your domain, codomain. Let V be subset of Y be open in Y. To show that f inverse of V, which is a subset of X, is open in X. This is what we need to prove. And the hypothesis what we have is the restriction maps all are continuous. Okay, now what we have done is we have taken the open set in Y. Okay, let us simply draw a simple diagram. Let's see. This is our X. This is our Y. This is X. X is written as the union of the open set. So let us do something like this. It is one open set. This is another open set. These are the open sets. F, when you restrict your f to each of these open sets, it is a continuous. You have to show that the f is continuous for the entire domain. Now what we have done is we have taken an open set in your codomain. So we have taken this. We have denoted it by V. So we have taken V to be open in Y. We have to show that this V is open in X. Okay, and to show that, we will use that f restricted to all these u alphas is continuous. So since f restricted to u alpha is continuous and V is open in Y, this implies the inverse image of this function will be open in your domain, that is u alpha. And again, we will consider that in a subspace topology. So let's go ahead. So to show that f inverse of V is open in X. Now since f restricted to u alpha is continuous for all alpha belonging to I, hence f restricted to u alpha inverse of V is open in subspace topology, in u alpha, not in X. Maybe in X, we don't know, but this we can claim that it is open in u alpha because this restriction is continuous, and inverse image of the open set will be open in your domain, and your domain is u alpha, and this happens for all alphas. Okay, now let's see what will be the inverse image, how we can write the inverse image. So f restricted to u alpha inverse of v, it is nothing but set of all say x belonging to the domain now here u alpha, such that f restricted to u alpha of x belongs to v, because you are finding all those points in the domain which are mapped to the points in v. So this restriction, when you take up points in u alpha, it is defined to be f. So this implies this is nothing but x belongs to u alpha such that fx belongs to v. And as we have seen in the last proofs as well, we can write this as u alpha intersection error, excuse. Okay, so now let's excuse 40 seconds. Okay, yeah, since I think this is open in u alpha, now what happens is, let's see, I think that's gone what I have done, it is not auto save. So let us write this. So f inverse of v is open in u alpha. Okay, now let us write this again. Let's see how we have this f inverse of v is nothing but that of all x belongs to your domain. This we have already written last time, so it's gone off. Let's see, f restricted to u alpha of x belongs to v. This is same as that of all x belongs to u alpha. Now since your x belongs to u alpha and the restriction of the way we have defined restriction map, this is nothing but fx belongs to v, and this can be written as there is some issue with my system, so we will continue this with this proof and some other examples in the coming video. Till then, stay tuned.